Man. So tonight wasn't the fucking greatest night of my entire life, but we're going to go over the UFC 237 results, the MMA card in Brazil. Where was it held exactly? Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. King of Rio, Jose Aldo was fighting. Anderson Silva was fighting. We also had Jessica Andrade fighting for the title in her home country of Brazil. So let's start. I want to start with caught my eye. Clay Guida won. Rocked BJ Penn at least once in the fight. So Clay Guida got the W, got the nod. Warlley Alves with the KO of Sergio Moraes. That was crazy. The uppercut was gorgeous. The leg kicks were amazing. Warlley Alves deserved it. Then I want to skip over this fight. I want to go into Ryan Spann KOing Nogueira with the uppercut from hell. Uppercuts were a trend in the early prelim fight. Yeah, so the prelims were uppercuts. Uppercuts from hell. The uppercut from Alves, the uppercut from Ryan Spann, that ended us off. And then Irene Aldana lands the belly down armbar, the same one we got to see when Paige Van Zandt submitted Rachel Ostovich is the most recent example I can give you guys. So Irene Aldana got to pick up the win against Bethe Correia. So let's move on to the main card then. Actually, Aldana was on the main card, technically. Technically, they had Aldana on the main card. The prelim main event was Spann versus Nogueira, which was a good fight. But nonetheless, then we move on. So we've already got two Brazilians who lose. And betting-wise, I bet on 3 fights, but we'll get to that. So Laureano Staropoli defeats Thiago Alves in Brazil, which was a weird one. There was a running joke with the way Max Griffin talks about Thiago Alves. The Brazil judges give the benefit of the doubt to Brazilian fighters a lot of the time. So most of them are scared to get a decision. Most non-Brazilians are scared to get the decision when it comes time, when they clearly won the fight. But in this instance, Staropoli got the nod, got the win, improves to 9-1, defeats the veteran Thiago Alves in Brazil. So that's another Brazilian who lost. Now we're at 0-3 for Brazilians that we covered. Then we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Jose Aldo, and this is where my bets start. So clearly my night wasn't that great. I got 2 right. I got to see a legend lose. There was nothing that went right. Because if my bets parlayed and I got the bets to win, I would have been happy. But if I didn't get them to parlay, I would have rather seen every other result, anti-result to my picks. Because my picks are really just my generalization, my general understanding of MMA and who I'm picking. And I got most of it right until Rose Namajunas got dropped on her head. But starting with Volkanovski, boring fight, not expected. Volkanovski versus Jose Aldo from a casual perspective was not the greatest fight. Volkanovski fought as he should have to win the fight against Aldo. Really delegated a lot of Aldo's attacks. The cardio striker in Volkanovski was clearly the better fighter in this one, and it showed throughout every single round. I think everybody would have given that a unanimous decision to Volkanovski, and that's another Brazilian who's lost. Then we get on to Jared Cannonier, who's found a really, really solid home at middleweight, and he takes on one of the living legends himself, one of the ones you want to see retire and hope retires, but we'll see if he does retire, who actually suffered another leg injury. Now, if you're familiar with Anderson Silva, which I don't know if many of you are, I hope you are, because this guy's a legend, but he had a leg injury a couple years ago to Chris Weidman in their second fight, and this probably sparked the end of Prime Anderson's reign. You could say the knockout, Chris Weidman knocking out Anderson Silva was the end, but that was Anderson Silva dancing and stuff. The story going into the second Weidman fight was that Silva didn't take the fight seriously at the points that he should have, and he lost because he got caught dancing. But then he broke his leg, and that's when you drop off in MMA, because if you get hurt, you get kind of screwed over. So nonetheless, Cannonier fights a good fight in the first round, and then very, very late in the first round, he throws a brutal leg kick to the knee of Silva, who rarely defends leg kicks in themselves. The leg kick lands perfectly on the inside of the knee, buckling it out. Anderson Silva's knee pops, and winner, Jared Cannonier, another one I bet. I think Anderson Silva's a little past his prime. I'd like to see him retire. We'll see where he goes from here with the broken leg. I think he will retire. That is my prediction. But nonetheless, Jared Cannonier, big win. And then we get to the final fight. The final fight I damn picked. Rose Namajunas is a better striker than Jessica Andrade. I think Luke Thomas summarized it very, very well, to be honest. Luke Thomas had a good analysis. Andrade, brute strength and force. Rose Namajunas, technically sound. I think Rose might even have a little more power than Jessica Andrade, but strength-wise, Andrade is just way more. just from the skill of Namajunas' punches, I think that they landed a little tighter, a little stiffer. They shot Andrade's head back, but they get to the clinch. The first time they get to the clinch, it's fine for Rose. Rose is fighting for a Kimura, and the announcers start boosting. Yeah, if you want to prevent being slammed, a painful slam, and you want to threaten when you get slammed, you go for a Kimura. The Kimura grip, it can lead into an armbar. It can lead into a bunch of different things when you get to the ground, depending on how the position changes from when you're slammed on your damn head. Now, the first time Andrade picks her up, she puts her back down, doesn't slam her. Second time Andrade picks her up, she slams her. She slams her on her head, but Rose doesn't get the full volume of the landing on her neck and her head area, so she's able to attack the armbar, fails to secure the armbar, and then just kicks Andrade off because Andrade was scared of the armbar and put her down. Then in the second round, the first round, the middle of the first round, between the first and the second round, the corner is literally telling Andrade, you're doing good. That slam was good. You picked her up well, you dropped her on her head well, and you got away from danger well. And then, nonetheless, in the second round, a little bit of the same on the feet. Namajunas is knocking Andrade's head back. Stiff jabs, pop, pop, pop. And then Andrade gets it into the clinch again. Rose is attacking Kimura again. Andrade drops Rose on her head and neck, and Rose goes unconscious. Now, I was really, really worried for Rose's health at this point because she got dropped directly on her neck. This was a brutal drop. I thought she was still conscious when she was dropped on the ground, but she couldn't respond to the ref's judge. So when I think that a fighter's conscious but lands on their neck and can't move, I'm thinking immediately a spinal injury. I was wrong. Rose was okay. It looks like she just got this force of the blow on her head, went out. We'll see in the future what happened to her head and neck. If she's just tougher than her own good and her neck is actually effed up, we'll see in the future. But man, that wrapped up UFC 237, which was just a fucking great card fighting-wise, but just a shitty card for me emotional-wise. This was a rough card. This one has me doubting if you can ever predict MMA perfectly. Like, if there will ever be an MMA analyst that can give me a solid assessment, a solid prediction from past events that will guarantee the future. MMA is one of those sports you can't fucking do it. It's not possible, man. The odds makers had Andrade. I thought it was simple Rose was going to win this fight, but I'm clearly fucked. I couldn't get them all. I got Volkanovski, I got Cannonier, I just couldn't get the Andrade. Then I picked Guida because Guida was just obvious. But that's how it happened. That's how it went. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like. If you want to watch MMA fights with us and you have the channel, you can watch our companions live on the channel. We did one yesterday. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more of that. If you are from one of those live streams, thank you so much. And let's enjoy our days and nights. Have a good one, guys. Peace.